Hey everyone, in today's video I'll be showing you how I made my Mad Hatter costume. So this is what the costume looks like all put together, but I actually changed it a little bit when we went to Comic-Con because I didn't want to be too warm. So I ditched the vest and wore a skirt and leggings instead of pants, but everything else is the same. And this is the costume I wore to Comic-Con. You can see it's very similar, just a little bit different. This is a coat that I got from Goodwill for a few dollars, and it made a perfect jacket for this costume. I started by removing the lining and fur trim from the coat with a seam ripper. Then I used the lining as a template and cut out pieces of the same sizes to make a new lining for this jacket. I went with a pink floral cotton. Then I sewed together the lining and attached it to the coat and added lace to the cuffs. To make the skirt, I folded a piece of pinstripe fabric over and cut a big circle shape. I didn't really know what I was doing here, and this was way too big for me, so I just haphazardly sewed up the sides until it fit me. Once I attached the zipper, I hemmed up the bottom and the waist. Then I used a light pink thread to add a decorative stitch to the bottom edge of the skirt. For the pants, I started with these pinstripe pants from the Goodwill that were just a bit large on me. I drew the pattern I wanted on the pant leg with chalk and stitched it with a needle and thread. I used the same technique for this pattern on the skirt. To make the gloves, I traced and cut out a glove shape from some brown fabric. Then I hemmed up the edges for the wrist, fingers, and thumb, and then sewed the pieces together on the sides. For the shoes, I got these boots and used the laces as a guide for how long the ribbon needed to be. I taped up the edges of the ribbon and then laced them just like normal shoelaces. To make the bandolier of thread, I took these wooden bobbins and wound embroidery thread around them. It took a few tries, but I was able to use my sewing machine to do this. I glued down the ends of the string to keep them from unwinding. Then I took this really cool silver ribbon that looks like a chain, and I was able to cut it in half without it fraying. So I tied one end in a knot and strung the bobbins onto the ribbon, passing each untied end of the ribbon through the bobbin once. After I got all the bobbins on there, I used another piece of ribbon to make it a complete circle so I could wear it over my shoulder. To make the bow, I cut out one large square with interfacing on the back, one small square, and two long pieces with pointed ends. Folding the large piece good side to good side, sew up the short edges and the long edge, leaving a space in the middle. Then turn it inside out and stuff a piece of netting into each side. I sewed up the small square on the long side and one short side, then turned it inside out and sewed up the other short side. To give the bow its shape, take a needle and some thick thread and stitch a few large stitches through the middle. Then pull it tight and tie off the thread. Next, take the small piece of fabric and wrap it around the middle to cover the gather. To make the tassels, take the pointed pieces of fabric and sew them together good side to good side. Turn them inside out and sew up the short flat end. Then pin them to the back of the bow and sew them on. Next, attach the little piece around the middle and sew it up, making sure to leave a little space between it and the bow. Next, take another piece of fabric that fits around your neck, plus about 5 inches, and is 4 inches wide. Sew up the long side and one short side. Turn it inside out and put it underneath the small piece to use that to tie it around your neck. Alright, and that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. You can click the links down in the description box to get supplies for this costume. Also, you can click the videos on the screen or the links down below to see a video of how to make the Mad Hatter hat and how I do my makeup for the Mad Hatter costume. Don't forget to subscribe!